YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to this video. If you are new to the channel, first off, I want to thank you guys for tapping in and supporting the boy and watching this video. Make sure you check out some of my old videos. I do a lot of car related stuff on this channel, and you like cars, so you're tuning to the right thing, so make sure you do that. Make sure to also like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Love to have you for the long haul. And all my return viewers, I want to thank you guys for rocking with your boy on this YouTube journey, and we can't thank you guys enough, so thank y'all for doing that. But I'm not gonna hold you too long. Let's go and get into the topic of today's video. You see the title and you see the thumbnail. So you guys watched me take delivery of my 2022 Dodge Charger Scatpack Widebody. You saw me drive it for the very first time. And on this video, what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about the features I got on the car, what the options I got on the car, the options I didn't get on the car, and why I didn't get them. And also, I've been getting a lot of questions about why did I ultimately get rid of my Challenger RT 6-speed that was already paid off. We're gonna get into all that on this video, but first let's turn around. I know y'all don't want to see my ugly face. Y'all want to see the beast behind me. So here it is, my 2022 Charger Scatpack Widebody. And obviously you can tell the color. Well, I know this kind of a color that's hard to tell and differentiate between Go Mango, but this is Toy Red. Red is my favorite color. That's why I put a lot of red accents on my previous car, and quick walk around on it. Pretty much all stock. Well, it is all stock. I haven't done any mods to this car right now. I'm almost at 600 miles on the car, so that tells you how much I've been driving, working from home, so I don't drive the car that much. It sits in the garage a good bit, but I finally got it over 500 miles, so we're past that point. But that's a quick walk around of the car. And if those of you that's been following the channel for a while, you guys already know that the car that I got rid of was my 2015 Dodge Challenger RT, which was a 6-speed. So why did I ultimately get rid of that car, paid off and things like that? So first and foremost, one reason I did get rid of the car, some of you guys may know me personally, I have 2 kids now, have a 7-month-old and almost a 4-year-old. So a Challenger is not as practical to put 2 car seats in, and this car only got 1 seat in there now. As you can see, I have no tent on it yet, but you can see I can put, well, for the door, so I can put 2 car seats back here much easier, and it's much more practical than doing it in a 2-door car. So that's one reason why I got rid of the car. A lot of people saying, why did you trade in a car that was already paid off? Another reason for that is I had 2 cars before, and honestly, when I had 2 cars, I still didn't drive both cars, so it didn't make sense to have 2 cars, be paying 2 insurances and things like that. And plus, my 4-door car, my new car, has a lot more stuff on it than my Challenger did. So I wouldn't want to drive the Challenger as much if I have this car with pretty much more power, more features and things like that. So it wouldn't make sense to have the Challenger there, knowing that I probably won't drive it as much with this beast in there as well. And plus, I got a 2-car garage, and I like keeping my cars in the garage, and I didn't want to have 1 car sitting outside and things like that. So it didn't make sense for me to keep 2 cars. And plus, also with this car, I wanted to make sure, as far as my payments and stuff like that, I wanted to have it at a certain range. I had to trade the car in to get it to where I wanted to do. So it made financial sense and things of that nature. That's why I ultimately got rid of the Challenger. I'm gonna miss it, but this thing has been a blast to drive so far. Of course, it want to be windy now, but here it is. Here's the official window sticker for my 2022 Dodge Charger Scatpack Widebody. You can see the whole thing there, real deal 2022, and you can see this was a special order for me. I know y'all want to, that's a real name, whatever, but that's how it goes. But you can see here all of that whole window sticker, all the deals and stuff here. But I want to go over some of the features of this car, some of the things I got to the car, on the car, some things I didn't get. So let's go with the major stuff here. So this car, of course, Toy Red, like I explained before. As far as interior color, I went with black. I'll explain what I did with that. Of course, you see Scatpack, the emblems and stuff, all that on there. 6.4 liter V8, y'all already know that. 392, y'all know that stuff already. Now, one thing about the Scatpacks, when it comes to the Widebody especially, for some reason, on Dodge's website, Dodge, they separate the narrow body Scatpacks from the wide body Scatpacks as if they're 2 different trims. But on this window sticker here, the wide body is actually an option, which you can see is almost a $6,000 option for the wide body on this car. And a lot of people just say it's just fender flares, but honestly, there's a lot more that goes into it with just the fender flares. Of course, you have the fender flares on there, which it lists that, but you also have wider tires, bigger brakes come standard, and also is an updated suspension on this as well. So this suspension is totally different from the narrow body. You have different sway bars. I think that also you have the not active, but the adjustable shocks on this car as well. So you have the different drive modes. You can put it in street, sport, and track, so you can change that up as well. The shock splits come standard with this. Of course, you can do that on the narrow body as well, but that would, you need to get the dynamics package, I think, to do that, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I might be wrong on that. I don't know if you can do it on the narrow body, but of course with this one you're able to do that for this car. Some other options that do come with the wide body here, you can see all the list of stuff here. You also get the flat bottom steering wheel, and you get the wider tires, of course, with the wider wheels, the Pirelli tires that comes with this, the 305 3520s. I have the all season tires on this because even though I'm in the South, it does, the weather's kind of bipolar. We don't know what the weather's gonna do. You see the tires there, Pirelli all seasons, you see there. Even though we're in the South and it stays pretty much warm most of the year, it does get kind of cold and chilly sometimes, so make sure you're ready for all, you know, prepare for anything. So that's why we have the all seasons here. So this car is going to be pretty much daily driven, even though I work from home, so I don't have to drive it every day. So let's dive into the options I got on this car and what I didn't get here. So let's dive into the interior first. So right here first, you see flat bottom steering wheel, which I told you comes with the wide body here. I kind of like this steering wheel compared to my RT. It's very thick, it's got a lot of meat to it. It also is heated as well, which comes as a standard feature on this car. Now, one option I did not get, I know I have the cloth seats, and the reason I got the cloth seats, I did want to go with the red and black Alcantara seats, but the reason I didn't, like I said, I was trying to keep the car in a certain price range, right? I did the order back in November for this car, and there was going to be a lot of uncertainty as how long it's going to take to get the car built and how the car market was going to be then, because like I said, I traded my car in. I didn't know how much my car was going to be worth at the time of me getting the car and trading it at that time, because I didn't trade the car in until this car was delivered. I know some people would say, like, why didn't you just trade it in from the get-go, like as soon as you did the order? Well, reason being is because of the fact that I would still have to go out and buy another car, which didn't make sense to trade a car in and then have to go back and buy another car just to wait for the other car to come in to get rid of that car. So that didn't make sense to me. It wasn't a good plan when I thought through it. So that's why I waited to trade the car in. So I had the seats on there, but when I got to the price, ended up taking it off, mainly because of the fact that the price was flirting with almost $60,000, and I was not about to pay $60,000 for this car. And plus, like I said, I tried to keep it in a certain range, so I make sure my payments in a certain range and whatnot, because honestly, that's how I think, right? The other option I did go with these carbon black wheels. These are not the standard wheels that come on there. You can see kind of the brake dust that's on it, good old Brembos. I went with that because the granite wheels that come on them, the devil's wheels, what they called, I wasn't too fond of those. They look pretty decent, but I wasn't too fond of those. I like these wheels much better, so I went with these. And the other option I got, I ended up going with the sunroof on the car here, because of the fact that I do like the look when you get in the car. I'm gonna show you. It feels like the car has much more space here. Get in the car, have the sunroof, feel like I have a little bit more space with the sunroof up and all that. Now, another thing I'm gonna end up doing, which y'all will probably see on my channel, is I might be using this sunroof to get some good footage. Like I have a mount that I can mount on my sunroof, and I can give y'all some pretty good footage, dope footage from that standpoint there. So now, I did talk about the options I did get on this car. Let's talk about some of the options I did not get on this car. So if you can take a quick look over the car, you see I don't have any satin package, no stripes, anything like that. I definitely decided to go against that because in my eye, if you watch one of my previous videos, I'll talk about options you can get for your car. I definitely feel like those options, as far as the stripes and the graphics package, aren't worth it if you're planning on changing the look of your car at some point. If you're planning on keeping the car as is and not modding in any way, then I understand about doing that. But if you're paying for a satin black hood and stripes and stuff like that, and then you come back later and decide to remove it, you're still going to be paying for it in the price of the car. So that did not make any sense to me whatsoever. So I decided to just go with all red, have a blank canvas, and do what I want to do to it. Now, I do plan on doing something clean to it later. I don't think I'm going to do anything on the side or anything like that. But I do have an idea of something I want to do with the car, which will be a really clean, simple look. But I think you guys will enjoy it. But that's later on down the line. I just got this car last week. So another option that I kind of skipped out on, you can see here, my brakes are all black. I did not want to get those colored. Personally, I feel like it was like $600, like $595 or something like that. I didn't want to spend the money to get those done. I do have an idea of what I want to do with those later on. I could get it done cheaper anyway. And plus, if I want to change it up, I can change it up. Like I said, if I want to change the color, you're still going to be paying for it in the price of your car. Also with the car, since this car comes with Apple CarPlay, I do have an iPhone. I opted against the navigation as well because I can just plug my phone on and get that same feature in there. I don't think that's worth it to get navigation. It's much easier to use your phone, just plug it in for the Apple CarPlay. CarPlay. Also, with the sound system in this car, I did not get the upgraded sound system with this car, but if you do get this car, it does come with a somewhat a premium sound system already. It has an Alpine sound system. It has 6 speakers, 275 watt amp. That is actually an upgrade compared to my Challenger that I had. My Challenger didn't have any of that, and this will actually be an upgrade for a lot of cars here. And to be honest, this sounds pretty good for the standard system in this car. I mean, you can definitely opt to get the upgraded sound system for the premium sound system where you get the subwoofer and stuff like that. This one doesn't have the subwoofer, but the sounds of this thing does sound pretty good. All right, guys, so let's dive into the window sticker here and show you some of the other stuff that's on here that comes factory on the car. So, of course, base price of this is based on the Scatpack narrow body 46,225 with my wide body package that I added, with the sunroof that I added, and the low gloss black wheels, the carbon wheels. End up it's 56,405. Now, I did not end up paying this out the door with my trade-in and rebate. Yes, I said rebate. If you watch my other video, I did pay under MSRP. So pretty much, like, with the price of this car, my trade-in and the rebate, I didn't put any money down outside of my deposit for getting this car. And honestly, how much I'm financing is about the same price as an RT. Dead up. I'm not lying. I don't even know that. So I'm financing amount as an RT, and I'm in a wide body Scatpack. I think that's pretty good, especially in this day and age when car prices are crazy. So make sure, I might go into another video on this, but make sure if you're dealing with a dealership to get a car, if they're talking markups, don't deal with them. I went to Steve White Motors, no markup under MSRP when I bought my car. So make sure you do that. If you got any more questions, hit me up on Instagram. I'll give you some information and who to work with and stuff like that. So with the 2022s, I noticed not a lot of differences with this car. There's a couple small differences, which I'm gonna point out to you guys. So one of the small differences here, which I'm going to point out right there, if you can see it, deluxe security alarm. So this car does have the upgraded security system on it, and I will go into more detail how well this works and stuff like that. So pretty much it has like a glass sensor, I think a tilt sensor, the valet mode, which reduces the horsepower down even more than before. It also has like a motion sensor too. So we're gonna go on that into another video. But that's kind of one of the reasons I wanted the car. Granted, it's not gonna be a perfect thing, a perfect thing when it comes to car theft and things like that, but it's much better than what they had before. So shout out to Dodge for doing that part. So we're gonna hop to the exterior for this. So another different thing Dodge did for the 2022s, and someone else pointed out this to me, and it's something I had to pick up on, I didn't know. The headlights here, foster turn signals are done differently. Now, if you're familiar with Dodge here, if you're looking, you see this whole thing is the turn signal right here, this whole thing right here. On previous models, usually this part is the turn signal. So when you're driving, this LED is white, and when you hit the turn signal, it turns off and the light goes to here. If I'm looking here right now, that part does not look like a light at all. It's just like something there. But this has the upgraded headlights, so to speak. It looks the same, but now this whole thing is a turn signal. Now, I'm gonna step back here. I'm gonna show you guys. Like, I feel like having it like that makes it look so much meaner, so much more aggressive than before, than having that small light be the turn signal here. So when I do turn lane, like change lanes and things like that, it's the whole thing that lights them instead of that little bulb there. So that's a little small difference between 22. And of course, I did all of that. I did not give you guys a start of the car. This one won't be a cold start because of the fact that I drove the car to get here, but this is how the exhaust sounds factory. I'm gonna step back a little bit. I am not used to having a remote start, because you know my last one was a 6-speed. So that's something different there for me, something new for me. So let's do it. Now, for a factory exhaust, that's pretty decent. That is pretty decent for a factory exhaust. That's coming from someone who had the loudest 5.7 Challenger ever, but that factory exhaust is pretty good. I've been hesitant to even change this because I kind of like that. I kind of like the sound of it. Of course, I'm gonna change it down the road, but I think it's pretty good. I do think that's pretty good. Now, if we dive under the hood here, not a lot of change, of course, for the 2022s under the hood. Pretty much everything is pretty much the same here. You can see here, you can look close, you see the orange block for the 6.4 liter here, powered by SRT. I'm not going to even get into the whole debate whether this is SRT or this is Scat. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say this. I will say this. There's a lot of SRT features on this car. I will say that. There's a lot of SRT features on this car, but you can see here, nothing much to change. But I will say here, point out this hood scoop is functional right there. And my Challenger, it had the hood scoop there, but it wasn't functional. But right here, you can see it is functional. It goes right directly to here, so it helps cool it a little bit if you're driving or whatnot. So we're back in the car. We take a quick look at the U-Connect here. So let me turn this on. I didn't mean to start it, but I will. Well, let me see. We got the pairing here. I know main thing people want to see like the kind of the. Oh, whoa! Hold on. Let's mute that. Let's pause that. Yeah, my music playing. So I know main thing people want to see is performance pages and stuff like that. So of course, there's something that doesn't change. It does take a while for the performance pages to load. That is something that's always been the thing. So the performance pages still have to load up. Still takes some time to load up, but while it decides to do that, we can go over here. You can look at your heads-up display. Here's some of the things you can look into. Let me get y'all a little bit closer. There you can see here that we haven't even hit 600 miles, but here are like a couple of options you have. You can go in here, vehicle info. You can check tire pressures, coolant temp, transmission temp, oil pressure, oil life, you know, battery voltage, stuff like that. Intake temperature as well. Of course, my intake temperature is going to be kind of high because I'm sitting still, but once I start moving, that will drop down. Engine torque, you can have that measure, in engine power here. Coming from my Challenger, there's a lot of things there you can measure that I didn't have before. You want to drop down to your performance part. On my Challenger, I didn't have a lot here. Hope you can see this well. You got the 0 to 60. I have not did that. 0 to 100, I have not did that. What is that? 1/8 of a mile. Oh yeah, we're gonna set some times here. 1/4 mile, 24 seconds. That's crazy. Braking distance. You got the G-forces, all that type of stuff, as far as like braking, turning, and accelerating here. Lap timers, lap history. We have that. Oh, who did that? Of course, fuel economy. 18.2. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good for this type of car. Of course, you got your other stuff here, music muted and all that type of stuff. Another thing about this car that I do like, if you do get any kind of press okay to end the speed warning. I'm not doing that. And this is another thing with this car. This is something new to me. In my Challenger, I didn't have this, but you do have the ability to pull diagnostic codes without having a code reader. So if you do get that on your car, you can go here and it'll display that for you. And here you go. As far as performance pages, it finally loaded after 2 days work. So you can change all these up. You can add different widgets and stuff like that. You got your power, current gear, G-forces like that. If you want to go here, you can add different things if you want to. You got your timers that I showed here before. As far as the 60-foot 330, so if you do go to the track and things like that, which I do plan on going to the track sometime in this car, you can see exactly kind of how well your performance, things like that. I'm not sure how accurate this will be versus the timers at the track. I have heard that these aren't as accurate, so we'll see how that works, because all of this is based on how far your car moves versus at the track. They have actual timers that are in the track, so that way you would know it'll probably be more accurate at the track when you're looking at this type of stuff here. So of course, you got your gauges you can check out here. G-force, like I mentioned before. Engine, you can have this going there, so if I hit the gas, you can see the numbers start changing and whatnot. Now, I have not had this before, so this is something new to me, guys. Also, you got the dyno here, so anytime you do get on the gas, things like that, you can see the graph moves, how accurate this is. I'm not sure, but you can do all that on this. You can actually see what gears you're in and all that type of stuff. So also, if you go to where we at, if you go to the SRT, you go here to the SRT dashboard here, you can customize a lot of things here. You got your drive modes you can customize here. You got street, sport, and track. This is kind of my normal setting here for the most part. I do like the steering to be kind of stiff pause, you know what I mean? I like that feeling. That's how I drove my Challenger. We can go back over here to race options here, so you can set up line lock. This car does have line lock, so Dodge wants you to burn out with this car for sure. Launch control, which you can actually activate down here. You can just hit the button and activate launch control, but you can set but you can just set your RPMs here. I may mess with that a little bit later on another video. And you got your shift light as well, so if you do use your paddle shifters, it will pretty much tell you on here, it will flash red when it's time to shift. So that's another cool thing as well. And also you can change the shift points here, like as far as when the light comes on. So you can go through these different settings and change when you want it to shift. So that's where it came from factory, and I'm not gonna mess with that right now, but that's what you got. It does have a lot of cool features. I know a lot of people tend to talk about this, tend to talk about like the power and things like that. But I will say, as far as this car, it does have a lot of like creature comforts. Like you can get Wi-Fi in the car, of course. That's something that no one ever talks about. Like the sound system's pretty decent, like I mentioned before. Also the security is beefed up and things like that. So all in all, man, that's pretty much a full overview of this car. So guys, that is going to wrap up this video. That is the full overview of my 2022 Dodge Charger Scatpack Widebody. Very excited about this car. I got the color I wanted and all that type of stuff, and I'm really happy with it thus far. I know I haven't even put 1,000 miles on it, but I've been driving it to drive to have fun. Like I said, I got this car mainly for me to have fun with it, but of course I'm gonna do content on this car because that's what I do, right? If you got any questions about the car, things I did not cover in this video, please make sure to leave a comment below, and I definitely make sure I can answer some questions for you guys. And thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna catch you on the next video. We're out. Cut it.